welcome to Creative Glamour's makeup tutorials. I'm Cecilia Grobler. Today we'll be showing you how to use some of these oval brushes, and we're doing a very bright colored eye, so I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to show you how to use your oval brushes. So we're going to start with our contouring and highlighting. I've used the number 12 and number 9 concealer color, and I've got the number 15 color as well that we're going to use for contouring. So I'm using one of the smaller shaped oval brushes to get right underneath our eye areas. Okay, so once I've applied my highlighter, I will then move on to my contour. So the slightly more thinner, longer brush is what I'm going to use to apply my contour with. And the very small sized one you can even use to shape your nose. So you're going to apply it by using it flat. Once you've done that, you can start buffing your edges with your larger oval brushes. Just close one. So for her foundation colors, I'm basically using our number 13 color with a little bit of the number 15 color and a tiny bit of the number 11. So if you like for underneath the eye areas, you can go back to your smallest shaped oval brush and get right to that lash line. So using the larger shaped one, we can now do a circular motion and blend all those fine lines away. We are going to be using the number 3 and the number 5 powder. I'm going to start by using the number 3 powder underneath the eye area. I'm doing this application with a powder puff purely to just show when you want a heavier application of powder ever. By using a powder puff, you can automatically see that it is a heavier coverage. If you want a lighter application, then definitely a powder puff would not be your option. But if you have a very oily skin and you feel that you want to get a nice thick application, then maybe you should try a powder puff. So now I'm going to go on to my number 5 powder. Now I'm going to start mixing my 5 and my 3. So for underneath the eye areas, I'm adding my number 1 powder just to make sure, because we're using the very bright colors, that it can't mess anything underneath the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to start with applying my eyeshadow primer all over the eye area. So I'm going to start with using silver sparkle color in the inner corner of the eye. Then I'm going to use purple in our color palette. It's a very bright purple color. So as I've started with the very light color of purple, I'm going to move on to darker purple that's mixed with black. The actual color I'm using now is deep purple mixed with some black. And then I'm going to use black on its own in the bottom corners. Now I'm going to be using Blossom. So more or less where your eyeball is, that area going into my silver. So you'll see where you want your color to stick a bit more. If you do slightly more of a patting motion than a sweeping motion, for when doing very bright colors like these, you can get them even more intense. So now I'm going to just blend this color of the purple a little bit more, start taking it a little bit higher. I would just like to intensify my black a little bit more, so I'm using actually Nite Light. The black has a little bit of a glitter in it, but the black is a little bit more potent than what the normal black is. So once I've applied all my colors, I'm just going to use a brush with no color once again and just blend. So for the next part of me doing underneath the brows, I'm going to use the vanilla color of the sparkle. It seems quite peachy when you see it in the lid, but it actually comes out quite light. So obviously I don't want that shimmery color to be that intense everywhere underneath the brow area. So I'm going to smooth it out and blend it in, and then we're going to reapply a matte shade over that to just kind of have that hint of a shimmer underneath. So I'm going to use Pale Honey and go over that area. So as you can see now, it still has that hint of a shimmer, but it's not that shimmery for underneath the brows. Now I can go and reapply a little bit of my purple color and just blend that perfectly into my highlighter color at the top. And last but not least, just blend in that bright pink color with the newly applied shimmer. I'm going to use some of the purple color underneath the eye area. And bring a hint of that pink in. So now I'm just going to do a black liner underneath the eye. Okay, so we are going to now be able to dust off the catch net underneath the eyes. So by starting the brows, I'm going to comb them upwards. So I'm going to be using a small angled brush. By applying it flat and bringing it up, touching it at the bottom, starting to create a straight line. To where the arch goes, and then we're going to start moving down. And when you're finished, you can just comb through the front part and just soften it where it needs softening. So I'm just measuring my lash to make sure that it's the right length for my model. I'm just applying glue to my eyelashes, so you'll see that it has a nice thin layer. Give it about 5 seconds or so just to start drying before you actually apply it. Remember that you try and get this as close as possible to your client's natural lash line. Okay, so this is called an eyelash tweezer, and when your nails are too long to apply your lashes with your nails not making it possible, you can use this tweezer to actually hold your lashes. So you know when your nails are too long to apply it, now you've got little Mr. Eyelash tweezer that you can use to apply your lashes. So for the finishing touches of this look, I'm going to go with contouring with a little bit of Choc and chocolate and caramel to just contour the cheekbones. I'm now using Dusty Shine and Candy F to just give that glow to the cheekbones, work as a little bit of a bronzer. I like the combination of the 3 colors for my model. I'm also going to use a little bit of a blush color, Shine Shy Peach and Blossom, just to add a little bit of a pinky tone to the apple of the cheek. Now that my eyelash glue is dry, I'm just going to apply a gel liner. I'm just going to apply mascara to my client to make sure that my natural lashes and my false eyelashes blend in together. I'll just go. With this specific look, I'm going to go for quite a purplish color of lips, but outlining it with slightly something a bit darker. So for the lips, I'm doing something with maybe a bit of purple, but I would like to have a bit of a darker outline. So therefore I'm using a darker lip pencil. So for my lip shade, I'm going to use LPO1 mixed with LPO8 so that I can get that purplish shade. I always like going back with my lip liner and just adding a little bit of that dark shade and blending the two colors in to kind of get a little bit of an ombre look. And that's it for today's look.